Hi, in this video, I'm going to explain about the concept of infinity here in finding the vertical and horizontal asymptotes of a function. For example, this function here, fx. So, if you have the this function, x can be accept any value, right? X can be accept any values, alright? Or means that any value of x, there is a value of y here. So as you know that this function is defined for any value of x. So there are no vertical asymptote here. No vertical asymptote. For any exponential function, then you have no vertical asymptote here. But we have to consider, the horizontal asymptote. The horizontal asymptote. So, as horizontal asymptotes, we have to find the limits at infinity, right? Limits. The procedure of finding a horizontal asymptote, you have to find the limits at infinity. So, limits as x approaching to positive and negative infinity here. So, but for exponential, it's very different. So, let's look at it. 2 minus e power of negative x here. So what is the outcome here, right? So I'm going to explain because this will affect the value for e to the power of negative x here. All right, so let's look at here. So I'm going to explain e power of negative x. What happened? 2 doesn't matter, right? 2 doesn't matter, but this is the one that the input, so will affect the everything here is based on this one. So it means that as x approaching positive infinity, so as x approaching a value, as you know that this one can be read as 1 over ex, right? 1 over e to the power of x. So as x getting very big value, x getting a very big value, so means that this number were getting bigger, right? So the ex were getting very large, approaching positive infinity here. So means, as you know that if you e power 1, you can using calculator e power 1, you're getting a big number, e power 2, e power 3, you're getting bigger and bigger. So a number divided by a very big number, a number divided by a very big number, you will turn out to be a very small number, which is approaching, approaching infinity. This whole thing will be approaching infinity. But the 1 over ex is approaching 0. Why? Because as this number getting bigger and bigger, the whole thing 1 over ex is approaching 0 here. So it means that to evaluate this limit, very simple here. So the limit of positive infinity, this one approaching 0. So that's why you're getting 2. So 2 will be your horizontal asymptote. Either one, either the negative or positive infinity, approaching a value, limits of an infinity approaching a value, this value must be a horizontal asymptote here. So horizontal asymptote, which is y equals to 2. Right, how about this one? Right, how about this one? Is it approaching a value? So let's consider, right? So now for different cases now it's for the case when x approaching this second cases here, as x approaching negative infinity, right? What happened to this? As you know that ex can write as 1 over ex. So as x approaching negative infinity, you have to consider, okay, ex were approaching a very small number, right? So because as x approaching negative infinity, what is negative infinity? I mean this is a negative value. So for example, negative 1, you have 1 over e power of negative 2, you have 1 over e to the power of 2. E power of negative 4, you have 1 over e power of 4. So when the x getting negative infinity, the ex getting nearer to 0. As this one getting bigger, is getting nearer to 0. Alright? So as ex getting nearer to 0, the 1 over ex getting nearer to positive infinity. Alright? Getting nearer to positive infinity. Because why? As this whole thing, as the ex getting near to 0, getting near to 0, 1 over something, 1 over something that are very near to 0, you are getting a very big number here. So this one getting very big number, positive big number. So means that you know that 2 minus with infinity, right? You're getting a positive infinity. The e power of negative x getting positive infinity. Oh, as this thing getting positive infinity, imagine a number minus with a positive value, a very big value. Of course, you will get still getting a negative infinity here, right? So, okay, for this side, it will be going to infinity, but for the positive side of infinity, you are getting 2. 2 will be your horizontal asymptote. So now, let's look at the graphical representation of this curve here. So, I know that you already know how to sketching this type of graph when you learn the function, the function of the exponential function, right? But you don't know why the graph will be looking like that type of shape, right? So now you have to know after you consider the infinity here. Alright, let's look at the graphical representation here. So there is a video where I discuss about the sketching of graph exponential by using some techniques here. But the knowledge inside that video is not enough for you to understand. So with limits, you can understand better. So for example, 2 minus means that 2 will be your horizontal asymptote, right? So 2 will be your, there are no vertical asymptote for this case here, no vertical asymptote. So as you look at the limit, as x approaching positive infinity, means that the value of x getting bigger and bigger, 1, 2, 3, 1,000, 100,000. So the graph, the function here will getting nearer to 2. So means that it will be near to 2. During positive infinity, it will be near to 2. Either is near to 2 above or below, right? It will be very near to 2. So as you know that, okay, let's find the y-intercept first. Y-intercept, x is 0, right? X is 0. So x is 0, so e power of 0 is 1. So 2 minus 1, you're getting 1, right? So you know the curve will be going this way, because as you see that as negative infinity, as it become more negative, negative 1, negative 2, negative 10,000, the graph will be going to negative infinity. It means the y value getting more negative. That's why you see the curve here. They were moving such that it getting more negative. So this is the graph for exponential in detail. So you see that as it's more positive, as the value of x become more positive, it nearer to 2. It become more positive. So it near to 2, the limit's near to 2. As it's become more negative, moving in the negative direction here, the left hand side. So the value of x become more negative. So the function also become more negative here. So this is show that there is a horizontal asymptote here, right? By finding the limits here, you know there is a horizontal asymptote. So, alright, you can consider other exponential graph for better understanding. Alright.